and welcome to Facts or Frauds.
All right, we'll go on the record. This is in the District Court of Butler County, Kansas. Case is entitled State of Kansas versus James Brent Watts, case number 22 CR 83. Would counsel announce appearances, please?
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, James Watts has standby counsel for James B. Watts, who is acting pro se.
All right. That's correct. James Brent Watts is appearing pro se. He's representing himself. I scheduled this hearing today to take up several motions that have been filed by defendant Watts. I'm just going to go through these in the order that they appear in the court file. The first one is a motion for continuance of the February 4th trial and the January 31st pretrial conference. Defendant Watts, are you still seeking a continuance of the upcoming trial?
Yeah, I have had no access to evidence. James R. Watts played a trick. He brought a phone number by me, and he knows dang well that arms list won't answer a collect call. I wanted addresses and phone numbers. Now, the phone numbers, if I went to Larned, I could use those up there. But anyway, I can't use them here. But anyway, I've had no access to get anything. Nothing's changed since the continuance was granted last time. I haven't even got glasses. So I can't see. And then they've also been refusing medical. The dizziness and stuff from the negative energy being inflicted to me is getting worse. But anyway, no, I have not got access to anything. I haven't even got the transcript. I wanted a copy of the transcript to go over. I need a copy of my grandfather's will. All firearms were left to me. So Dad saying that firearms on there were left to him. No, and all those firearms are newer than could possibly be left on that will. They're to be used.
Well, you're kind of jumping around a little bit, so let's come back to that motion. One of the other motions that you filed is the motion for, it's titled Motion for My Required Evidence of a Copy of My Grandfather Brent Bollin's Will, listing what was all left to me, including all firearms. Where is this will located?
My parents would have a copy of it, or maybe even several. I don't know. It would be there. And what do they keep them at? Court? Is it? Well, I don't know. They keep them somewhere in the county building, I thought too. But anyway,
Was this a will that was admitted through a probate estate here in Butler County?
it set up a trust for me and everything. Yeah, it was an official will. And all firearms were left to me. They've always been left to me. Nothing in the way of firearms was left to Dad. I don't know what all was left to Dad, but
Well,
left to him.
I'm not sure what power the court has to produce a copy of this will when we don't know where it is.
Oh, my parents have a copy. They absolutely have a copy somewhere. I don't know where they put it. It'd be possibly in the file cabinet downstairs. Probably that's where it's at. They have a copy. I think I had one years ago, but everything's gotten changed around. I mean, they've switched houses and everything else. A lot of stuff's been thrown away. So I don't know where my copy was. I absolutely had one sent to me and everything. Went through it, and they had one.
Judge,
Go ahead, Ms. Pierce.
I believe that Mr. and Mrs. James B. Watts' mom and dad have inquired into the assistance of Mr. Gail Jensen. I notice he's not here. I don't know if that has been information that's been provided to Mr. Watts, James R. Watts. But some of what the defendant is asking for might be, like the will, those kinds of things we might get assistance from Mr. Jensen if in fact, there is the ability to get it. I don't know, anything about it. It's kind of odd that Mr. Defendant hasn't asked his parents for it. I'm sure they would be willing to provide that, but I don't think that no court nor do the state have the authority to subpoena that or to get that because it's not part of this case. But as I said, I think we've all kind of went way above and beyond in trying to assist the defendant in getting everything he needs. And I think that Mr. Jensen may be able to assist if in fact Mr. Watts's parents have in fact hired them to assist. But again, he's not here today. So, and I don't know if that's because he didn't know about this hearing, because I didn't inform him because I just didn't think about it.
Okay, well, I doubt the court notified him because I had no idea that he may be assisting them in the case. Attorney Watts, do you know anything about this will?
I have not asked my parents because they're defendants here, and I don't think I've asked for stuff in the past. They haven't done nothing. So I've got also my bank records and stuff showing that my cash on hand. I asked for that a long time ago. They haven't done it. They're witnesses in this case for the prosecution. So I don't think, I think they're bothered by getting me anything. So, but stuff has been asked for.
Right, let me address Attorney Watts. Attorney Watts, do you have any knowledge about this will? And you're muted.
I would not, Your Honor. I would note that Mr. Watts has a subpoena power. He would have the ability to request a subpoena, and I'm certain that as he's acting pro se, if he were to request a subpoena from the court would be glad to grant that. He could subpoena that will and send that subpoena to his parents or his parents' attorney. And under that subpoena power, they would have the obligation to provide that document if they have it. He has subpoena power for bank records. He has subpoena power for any of these documents he wishes. He simply has to issue the appropriate subpoena.
Okay, I thought I could just, I'll try that then. I'll get busy and try to subpoena stuff, but.
And Defendant Watts, the court doesn't have the authority to order your parents to produce this will. That's something that they can either hand over to you voluntarily or not. But I can't order them to produce the will.
So that's denying me evidence. I mean, if you get a court case going where everybody has the evidence as witnesses against you and they don't want to do it, that's not anything by God at all. No,
as Attorney Watts stated, if you issue a proper subpoena, that may be an avenue from which you could obtain this will. But barring that, I don't have the authority to order your parents to produce this will.
I've had court orders that judges have done for ordering evidence, paperwork from the court records and stuff like that. I don't know anything about not being able to order stuff. But anyway, if I do the subpoenas, I still won't have enough time. There'll still have to be a continuance. I don't think they could possibly, by the time I get it written and get it to them, they take a long time to get me my file stamp caption pages back, several weeks or more. And a lot of stuff I don't even hear back from. I've got that guardianship case that needs to be thrown out because they bluffed it through without me having any knowledge of it and denying everything on it. But anyway, I wasn't even present at the first meeting on the guardianship. Nobody was present for me.
Mr. Watts, that case is in front of a different judge and it's not the court today. I'm going to take up another motion that you filed. This one's titled Motion to Take Notice that Attorney James R. Watts visited me at the jail October 10th, 2024, Thursday around 2:15 p.m. and only left a phone number for arms list, which requires a regular phone as businesses will not collect inmate calls from jails. So you've touched on this before. Is there anything else you'd like to say in support of this motion?
Well, I requested addresses and phone numbers. Like I said, if I go to Larner, and that could very well happen again, I can use phone numbers up there. So for me to have them, but here I would have to have the address and enough time to get all correspondence.
Do you have an address, Attorney Watts, to go along with the phone number you've provided him?
I do not, Your Honor. And I think the contact information they have is a phone. Now, they mentioned that they do not collect phone calls. I think Mr. Watts does have some money on his books to be able to make direct calls.
Right now, I don't. I'm having trouble getting money in. My parents have to come to town and put it on the machine up here, and it don't take but $100 a time, and they don't make it to town that much. So money is at times a problem to get, and I don't know for sure I don't have access to lieutenants or anybody of any authority in my pod. I'm in B pod, and I have seen the last few days. Thomas has been around because she's on first shift. But anyway, I haven't seen her much at all until recently. I've seen her a couple times, but I'm not sure how I would get money on the phone to make a phone call that way.
And Attorney Watts, you weren't able to locate an address for this outfit?
No, Your Honor. I'm pulling up the website again here. The website does not have a physical address. As Your Honor may well know, arms list is essentially nothing more than essentially a classified ad, an online classified ad service. They are not and do not keep addresses of the advertisers there. All you would have would be an address of a corporate or a website for the website. I do not have a physical address.
Okay.
I would have to talk to them to verify they keep no records. Newspapers and everything keep records. I'm sure if the CIA, FBI, or something like that wanted the information, they'd have access to something. So I would have to hear that myself. I don't trust this James R. Watts attorney at all. You know as well as I do in the Bible, attorneys are the worst, evilest, and wickedest there are. They always trick, fool, deceive. I've had no luck with attorneys. I had them up at Chase County allow lies to put me in jail or prison for a couple of years. They aren't worth a damn.
All right. Well, it sounds like Attorney Watts has attempted to provide you the information regarding that request. Defendant Watts. All right. The next motion I'll address it's titled Motion for Court Orders to Involved People that I have access to all of my required evidence for court proceedings and or trial. So you may make argument on that motion at this time.
Well, if you're saying we can't order it, I'll have to see about the subpoenas. It's going to cost in damages. Oh, I'll want at least $100 billion every word.
If I had $1 million.
And it's going to be paid in gold at $5 an ounce. Laugh that up. I determine what the price of gold is. And my cases from Chase County and Butler County before are still going on. They're tripling. Damages are tripling per day. They don't triple every day, but there's damages every day. It's add up every day.
What evidence are you claiming you have not been provided?
I purchased all those dang firearms through my phones, off arms list, and there was only one or two I purchased out of the Wichita Eagle, that bull barrel AR-15 and 2006 probably is probably in there, or might be the first of 2007. That bull barrel AR-15 DPMS was purchased out of the Wichita paper. They would have access to that ad. The rest of them were purchased through Arms List. I'm not worried about purchasing firearms. You know as well as I do, there are no laws limiting felons from firearms. In the 1930s, they established a National Firearms Act. When the United States went bankrupt, the bankers made them do that. That's stupid. By the,
Well, Mr. Watts, what evidence?
I never will
you
not have
questioning?
firearms. And I'm having machine guns. 2 of those were fully automatics. I'm not dealing with this at all. So you'll have to execute.
Hey! What? What the hell? Who did that? What's going on? What do you mean they won't get it? Of course they won't. How can they get it? It's a bootleg.
And thanks for hanging out with us on Facts or Frauds. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, you're subscribed, and ring that bell. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. And a major thank you to every one of our Facts or Frauds channel members. If you'd like to become a member, just hit that join button right next to subscribe, or click on the link in the description. And if you're still hanging out, thank you. I appreciate you all. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and ring that bell. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. If you'd like to become a member, you can do that too. Till next time, I'll see you soon.